competitor, fortunately or unfortunately, is the candidate of the normalization committee. So for me, why I need to come in is to bring sanity to football development and bring a lot of credibility. I've done it in youth. I could do it in sports. And I've already done it in sports because I've been in football and in many facets of sports. I'm a community development worker. I have high integrity working with people and organizations. And that is what our football needs.
What proof do you have that your competitor is a candidate of the normalizing committee?
Oh, a lot. I have a lot of proof. I've been engaged by the current vice chairperson of the normalization committee, and he wanted to mediate. So I spoke to them. I know what they're up to. If I tell you he's their candidate, he is. I have a lot of reasons to bring that to the table. It's shocking because if he is not their candidate, why would you come and qualify a candidate that is in fact not qualified constitutionally? For me, the constitution that has been brought forward said an eligible candidate for the position of presidency should be in football within the past 5 years. And this gentleman is out of football for about 11 years. Look at the other conditions. I'm not here to argue why, who does what, but I looked at the process towards putting us in the shoe of presidency, which is very important for me, Modoes. You know, I told you I want to bring credibility and sanity to football, and one way you could do that is to bring and talk about a process that people would be happy to associate themselves with, and people would respect that, and therefore people would own the process and the product of the process. And this is where we are failing right now. I mean, the normalization committee is informing people, stakeholders of every development only through the media. They're not talking to stakeholders anymore. We understand all the things that are being done, and I stand to question. I read on the newspapers the other day that 2 of the other contenders for the position have been banned. And I stood up and said, wow, what is happening? Something is wrong. But what we have is our normalization committee are the prosecutor, the judge, the jury, and they have given themselves another title to be the prison warden. And I'm worried anybody they prosecute would definitely be sentenced.
So tell me, what confidence do you have in the normalizing with regards to the electoral process?
Very little, to tell you the fact. What they have started doing, very little. But that does not mean they can defeat us. Because I and those who believe in what I sell believe strongly that we are to save this country. We don't want the youth to be disunited. It's very dangerous for a country, and I'm not going to sit by and watch that happen.
I think it's high time you come up with a manifesto for the general public and for stakeholders to know what you really intend to do for this country, for Gambian sports.
Well, yes, I'm not sure if that is a warning or an advice, but being a seasoned technocrat, development specialist, you call it manifesto. It's that's what it does in the political domain. But for those of us who are development technicians, we're very conscious of what we bring to the table. It's always preceded by a proper assessment. And it's not that it's not available, it is. If you don't have access to it, just say it. But that does not mean it's not going out. But I'm saying you will get our manifesto, and our manifesto will come clear to tell Gambians what we are offering. This is already with stakeholders reviewing it. Look, it's an inclusive process we're trying to build.
Aside from bringing credibility that you have been talking about, what are some of the priority areas that you would like to see going if elected into the office?
Well, you said aside of credibility, which is the cornerstone of every development. But let me say, when we come into office, we want to build a team, and we want to build leadership for football. It's clear that we don't have a team. I mean, leadership team, I'm not talking about the team of footballers on the pitch. Because it's only a team that can build a conscious, a well-defined set of, a well-defined structure that will produce a team that the whole of the Gambia would be proud of. And that is what we are going to bring. And in bringing these structures and bringing the leadership, we are doing a comprehensive assessment of what are the current gaps, what are the current problems, and how do people own the process of this development. I am not one who said, okay, he was brought up in one part of the country and said, I worked for every region in this country.
Now tell me, you want to administer the new GFF constitution. This was a constitution that you against vehemently. In fact, I believe you voted against. And now you want to come and administer the same constitution. I'm not trying to make any sense out of that, Kebe.
All right, thank you. Very interesting question. First, the constitution was presented to stakeholders. Stakeholders, the essence of bringing stakeholders that you respect is to listen to their view. The whole process around the constitutional review was not engaging. You came to us and said, what is your view about this? And we told you our view. You throw it in the dustbin. You asked us to come and adapt it. We discussed it, and we tell you the chapters and the portions of the constitution that we think is not practically doable in the Gambia. And we advise, and we adapted that constitution. But you said, I said, I don't have confidence in them. And that's part of why I don't have confidence in them. They maneuvered their way through. It's easy to talk to FIFA and CAF, and people think it's so difficult. No. If you're sitting at the helm of affairs, they'll listen to you. And you use individuals in FIFA and CAF to get to what you want. So quickly, we're running out of time. How do you intend to administer a constitution, that needs to come against? It's not considered now. You have to be part of it to change it. We've never given our back. You have to be part of it to change it. What that means is we'll take over and we'll engage stakeholders to look at what is meaningful for this country. We'll engage government, FIFA, CAF, all other stakeholders. But this time around, people will not be under intimidation. People will not speak for others, but people will genuinely come and approach this and ensure that we are having the constitution is, by the way, it's not a Bible. It's something that going through, you review it, you look at it, and you look at what is doable. Quickly, a wide view among the public that you are sitting in that back candidate. Let me say something. I've been in football. This is not my first year. And I decided on presidents that come in the past, including our doyen father, Alaji Obi Konate. So if they say Sidiki, I'm legitimate as Sidi in the football arena. We might share views, and we might have commonalities. We might also have differences, but that is people's views. It's because I am out there talking to. I'm not against Modu Musa either. I still talk to the hybrids in Modu Musa camp. I am the one who can unite people. So Kebe, who are your running mates? It's Kebe, Kebe, Kebe. We want to know who are your running mates, because it's not only you. My running mates. Unfortunately, you said running mates. The executive is currently almost going back to the stakeholders to vet. So before that is done, you see, I respect processes and procedures. Being the leader does not mean you're the be it and end it all. And because I am going to work with a team of people, I want a team, remember, not a group of individuals, a team. And that team, proposals have been floated right now, and it's with stakeholders all around to discuss and to come back and say, this is what we agree, this is what we don't agree. So the public will come to know, and I'm sure the public is going to be presented with highly credible people who are not dented in any way, who could contribute a lot to develop Gambia. Your final message to the general public. People out there, I know we are in trying times, but trust that we will come back to you, uniting people for the common development of football. I'll bring credibility and sanity to our football, and I'll make sure that if we talk about 10, 15 years to come, Gambia will be a school for Africa to come and learn how we did it. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Well, viewers out there, the battle lines are drawn between Mustafa Kebe and Modu Musa.
Well, very interesting. Those were the candidates talking to Sports Tonight in the first ever series of Build Up in the run-up to the much-anticipated GFF Elective Congress. As you've heard from MS Diallo, the battle lines are drawn between Mustafa Kebe and Modu Musa, as the country's football fraternity awaits to find out who becomes the first president of the Gambia Football Federation. Grts Sports will bring you all the updates and build up to the July 31st elections. That's all we've got time for tonight's